In half a mile, keep left to stay on I-80 West.
Grand celebration.
I have never seen anything like it.
Better to be warned. The British are coming. Downton Abbey, a new era. Rated PG. Your motion picture event returns. Only in theaters May 20th. Sometimes the news can be difficult.
Keep left to stay on I-80 West. Continue on I-80 West for 23 miles.
Would it be easier for the airlines to manage a vaccine mandate than a mask mandate? Is there a case to be made that it's time to give Ukraine offensive weapons so they can win this war? What should be focused on that could reduce inflation and avoid a recession? If it's Sunday, it's Meet the Prince.
This Mother's Day, celebrate with the Forever Connected collection. Only at K.
With Xfinity Internet, you get fast and reliable speeds that fit your needs and budget.
There's a speed trap ahead.
For heartburn, Zantac 360 degrees prevents fleas and lice. Keep life zesty.
Right now, the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, is in Europe for a multi-day tour. She touched down in Romania late yesterday morning, met with U.S. service members stationed there, and then participated in a roundtable briefing on how the Romanian government is grappling with the Ukrainian refugee crisis. Today, the First Lady stopped at a Romanian public school that is hosting Ukrainian refugee students. She's set to spend even more time with refugees tomorrow, Ukrainian mothers and children who've been displaced due to the brutal Russian invasion. As you know, men of fighting age are not permitted to leave Ukraine. The First Lady is the latest in a number of U.S. officials and members of the Biden administration to spend time in Eastern Europe supporting war-torn Ukraine. Before Dr. Biden headed overseas, she sat down for an exclusive interview with my new MSNBC colleague Simone Sanders. Simone asked her about a key domestic issue, one of the only things anyone is talking about this week, the leaked Supreme Court draft opinion that signals the High Court would soon overturn the landmark abortion decision Roe v. Wade.
As a mother and as a grandmother, what would you say to young women right now, particularly young women who are upset about the possible erosion of their ability to make decisions about their own bodies?
Well, I guess the first thing I would say is that how shocking it was actually when we heard the news, and Joe and I got the call that, it had been leaked. The president matters. The election of the president matters because he's the one who puts the justices on the court. But if this goes to a state level, our state legislators are going to matter too. So people have to get involved.
All right, to catch more of Simone Sanders' interview with Dr. Jill Biden, tune in at 4 p.m. Eastern for the premiere of Simone right here on MSNBC. It's going to be great, but that's at 4 p.m. What are you going to do at 10 a.m.? In 23 minutes. Joining me now is another one of my fantastic, impressive colleagues, Tiffany Cross, the host of MSNBC's The Cross Connection, which is the answer to the aforementioned question, what are you going to do at 10 a.m.?
Good morning, Allie. It's so good to see you this morning. And our new colleague, Simone show premieres today at 4 p.m., so I'll be watching that. But yes, for all of you folks who are tuning in to me at 10 a.m., we have quite a bit coming up on The Cross Connection today. Of course, Allie, we'll be talking about that leaked draft opinion of Roe v. Wade, and if overruled, how it will disproportionately affect low-income women and women of color. Also, after a ruling this week, Allie, the victims of the 1921 Tulsa massacre may be closer to getting the reparations they so deserve. They've been asking for over a century now. So we'll be talking to their lawyer tomorrow